Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to figure out how to use a random number table to run a simulation. So using a table like this down here and marking up on it, okay, instead of using a calculator. So suppose we randomly select 3 students from class to speak at parents' night about the joys of taking statistics. How likely is it that we get 3 boys? Well, first of all, we need to know the percent of boys. And let's say there's 62% of boys in our class. So that means girls is the remaining 38%. Okay, so my component, first of all, is I have to identify everything. So I'm going to take boys, and boys is 62%. So remember, I'm going to do 0 through 61. And then girls is the rest. So that's going to be 62 to 99. Okay, so what's happening here is it's asking you to take 3 students, and we're going to try to see what happens if we get 3 boys. All right, so for our trial now, we have to describe what we're going to do. We are taking 3. So we're going to take 3 random 2-digit numbers and find out how many times we get 3 boys. The other thing we need to explain is that repeats are okay because we're dealing with percents. If I have 55 and I get another 55, that is okay. I don't have to say where I'm going to stop because I'm telling us we're going to choose 3 random digit numbers, which is kind of telling you when to stop. Okay, so the response variable is going to be the number of times 3 boys is chosen. Okay, and the statistic, we're going to find out percent of time 3 boys are chosen. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're probably going to do 5 trials. We'll say it up here, 5 trials. Usually what happens is you'll have directions on how many trials to run. Okay, so I'm going to copy something and paste it down here so we could see. Hold on. Okay, so what I did was I brought my boys and girls information down here. So I'm taking 2-digit random numbers. Okay, and so this first number right here is the first number I take. And it's 67. And so that represents a girl. And then 70 also represents a girl. And then here, my 3rd digit is right here, 22. That represents a boy. Okay, because I was taking 3 digits, that is 1 trial. You have to clearly kind of mark on it, okay? All right, I'm going to skip over a couple and change colors. And so trial 1, we had 1 boy. And now I'm going to, you could keep going where you're at, but then it gets a little confusing. If you do keep going from there, you should draw a line when you stop your trial. So here's another boy. And then 13 is a boy. And then 54 is a boy. So this one we had 3 boys. So that one worked. Okay. Now, some people like to keep going across the line. Some people like to start on a new line. It really doesn't matter. You could also skip to somewhere else. I'm going to start the next one on a new line. Let's go with red. Okay, 91 is a girl. 86 is a girl. 47 is a boy. So for this one, we only had 1 boy. Again, draw your line where you stop your trial. Okay, it's kind of hard for me to write here, so I'm going to scoot over some. All right, I'll start here. 92 is a girl. 26 is a boy. 95 is a boy. So this one I also only had 1. So I've run 4 trials. Now I need to run 1 more. 29 is a boy. 24 is a boy. 96 is a girl. So out of 5 tries, only one of them got me 3 boys right here. That's the only one that got me 3 sets of boys. Okay, so let's write our summary on that. Okay, so down here on our conclusion, so our simulation suggests, oops, let's put that S with the suggest, that we will get 3 boys to present only, so it was 1 out of 5 times, which is 20%. 20% of the time. And that's it. Okay? But remember, it's really important. You either have to say according to our simulation or the simulation suggests. You have to say this. If you don't say this, it's going to be wrong because then you're saying that it's always the same. But if we chose different random numbers or started different places, we would have different things. A different result. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to set this up as if I didn't have percents, but I actually knew the people. Okay, so we're going to set this up a different way. All right, and we're going to do all the work and kind of explain everything down here. Okay, so let's say I actually knew how many kids there were. I believe in our class, I just looked it up. Let's say that there are 21 boys and there's 14 girls. And since I don't have the percents and I know the numbers and everybody's assigned a number, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to say that 0 through 20 are boys. And then I'm going to say 14 through 34, because together those make 35, are girls. I don't know why I said 14. Hold on. I'll fix that. So instead of 14, it should be, I gotta erase it. It should be 21 to 34. Okay, so this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to still take 3 random 2-digit numbers. But because I'm not dealing with percents, I'm dealing with people, I have to ignore repeats. And because I'm using a table, I also have to ignore the numbers 35 through 99. So I want to show you what that looks like when we do that. I don't have to say when I'm going to stop because I already say that I'm doing 3 random. I'm still going to find out the percent of times I get boys, and I'm still going to have the same response. So the response and statistics stay the same. The only thing that changed is now repeats are not okay. Because I'm not dealing with percents, I cannot have a repeat. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use these numbers down here in these bottom rows. Okay? And these are going to take a little longer to do because I'm ignoring all those numbers because people are not percents anymore. They're assigned a position. And if I choose person 21, I cannot choose person 21 again for that trial. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in here a little bit so that I can see it. I wrote down how we do the next one down here, and I'm going to kind of take off that part of the table. We're just going to work down here for this one. Okay, so 0 through 20. So the first number is a 55. I have to ignore that number because it's too big. 95 I have to ignore. 25, I got a number. 25 represents a girl. 95 I have to ignore. 61 I have to ignore. 22. I got another girl. 17. I got a boy. So for trial 1, I only got 1 boy. Okay, so I'm going to do another trial right down here. I'll stick with the same colors. Okay, so 10. 10 is a boy. 2. 2 is a boy. 22, that's a girl. So I didn't have to ignore any in that one, but that still did not give me the 3 boys. I still just got 2 boys. Okay, so now I go to the next one. 30. And you can either circle or you can underline, but it has to be clear. That's a girl. 72, I can't have. 23, that's another girl. 52, I can't have. Can't have 53, 74, 77, 42, 96, 53, 38, 45, 86, 51, 61, 58, 49. Oh, 32, got one. 32 is a girl. So on this one, I got no boys. Okay? And so I'm going to squeeze up here and do 5 because we did 5 on the other one. So 86, no. 92, no. 86, 66, 34, 27. Found one. That's a girl. No 57, no 74, 48, 66, 45, 93, 44. Got another one. 27. That's another girl. And 30. That's another girl. Oh, look, 27 showed up twice. Do you see that? I just caught that. I had 27 here, but I also had 27 here. I cannot count that one, so I have to keep going because I can't have a repeat. And then let me scroll over, maybe. Oh, there we go. So I got to find another number. 52, no. 34. Yeah, 34. 34 works. That's another girl. So this one I still only got 3 girls. So 0 boys. Okay, so based on this simulation, it was 0 out of 1, 2, 3, 4. I should probably do one more. I said I'd do 5, so I'm going to start here. 0, 7, that's a boy. 22, that's a girl. 30, that's a girl. So for that one, I also got just 1 boy. So for this one, I would say my simulations suggest that you will not get 3 boys. The most boys we got is 2. The most boys in a group of 3 will be 2. So simulations are always going to be a little different, but you have to mark up your table. That's how I have to follow it. If you decide you want to start right here at the top, you can, but you don't have to. You could start over here on the right and go backwards. You just have to clearly design it and explain it so that whoever is reading it can follow it and understand what's going on. Okay, so remember to set your components. Explain clearly how many numbers you're going to take, when are you going to stop, what happens if there's repeats, and if there's any numbers you're going to ignore. And then you talk about the response variable and the statistic. And then you run your numbers and you look and you clearly mark. So you could do the circling, you could do the underlining, but if you're ignoring something, you need to cross it off. I don't want you crossing something off and doing something like this, because then I can't see it. I need to be able to see it. It needs to be something that's legible that I could see why you crossed it off.